everyone, I'm Adina.
And I'm Max.
And today we're going to show you creative and build a round together.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it. So from the get-go, we have the new creative tab where you can now create new rounds and load previous rounds, but we're going to start a new round.
Yeah,
so we're going to go straight into that. From the beginning, you can immediately see it's going to ask you what mode you want to make. For now, we're just going to build a race. There will be more coming eventually, but for now, we're just going to build a race, and the same with the theming. So you can change the sort of theming of your race or other modes as we bring them in. So we're going to go for original.
Just a bit of a disclaimer here. Remember that this is a dev build.
Yes.
And there could be some slight changes on release.
From the get-go, you're going to be greeted with a whole new UI that you're probably not used to seeing when playing Fall Guys. First thing you're going to want to acknowledge is that in the top left, there's a checklist. So you're going to need a start line and a finish line for a race. You'll also see that you can move the cursor around with the left stick and obviously rotate the camera with the right stick. And we've got our start line here to get us started. A few things that when you're going to start building this round out is we've got our objects list. When you press right on the D-pad, immediately you're greeted with a whole bunch of icons that might not immediately make sense. So let's walk through it a little.
Let's go.
So we have our platforms tab, which is just our static geometry. Blocks and barriers, which are good little static bits of geometry that aren't quite floors and walls, but rather small little obstacles you can place. We have our moving surfaces. We have obstacles, which you'll all know and recognize, things like our pendulums and our cannons, and our little bits of decoration, which sort of add a little bit of flavor to your rounds, and you can use sort of and place them at the end to kind of give you around a bit of depth. You can see across all of the objects that you can place that there is a number attached to them. That affects your budget in the top right. Once you reach the end of that budget, you're not allowed to build anything else. For that reason, it's good to build the bare bones out of your round, get the basic gameplay concepts, and then add layers on top of that from there. In terms of your controls, you've got access to kind of going up and down, moving around with the stick as said, and you can zoom in and out for those finer details. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's dive in.
First things first, we should probably figure out how many players we want our round to be, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go into changing our settings here. And
I think we should go for a medium.
You think medium?
Round, yeah.
So you don't want to build a small starting line and then an incredibly wide level. So we've got our medium starting line.
Yep.
So Edie, I think you've got an idea of where we're going from here, right?
Yeah, I wanted to play with the DoorDash.
Okay, sure. Let's get some DoorDash doors in here.
Yeah.
3's looking a little small.
Yeah, make it 5.
Again, on each of our objects, you can change the properties of each object. Most of the objects have different properties, some relating to color, some to just general values. So in this instance, I can change the amount of doors and how many of them will actually be open or closed. What do you want to do with this?
You're going to rotate them horizontally.
So we're going to line that up, and then we're going to get
a little bit of floor.
A little bit of flooring. This will snap. You have snap properties.
Which makes life way easier.
Which does make life easier. When you've not got anything selected, you can go to your tools and you can select snapping. So you can do camera snapping and object snapping, and then we're going to snap our DoorDash doors onto that, which is great.
Now I think you're going to take all of that and make another level of it.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go into our tools again. We're going to go to multi-select. This allows us to create a paintbrush and select the objects we want to copy. We're going to copy those, bring them down.
And it makes it very fast as well.
Try and line that up. So if it doesn't line up, that's fine. You can just keep moving it around till you feel it meets your perfect creation.
Should we test that a little bit?
Yeah, let's give it a little test. So we can come on in, you can press the button on the controller that states at the top, and you can just dive in. And
literally
it will,
at any time of the process.
It will put you where you select your cursor, so you can test from anywhere in your round. So we can see that that works. Copy this, do the same thing.
Yeah, third row of it. And that's what's really fun also with creative is you can use any obstacles and just rotate them, try to experiment with them.
Do things that we've not normally done in our previous rounds.
Exactly.
So we're gonna copy some more platform, and I think this is a good place to get a little checkpoint in, which is sat in the platform section. Similarly with everything else, you'll see that it comes in a little too big for the level we're making. That's fine. We'll just bring this out, change the settings, make it a little smaller to meet what we want.
Perfect.
And snap that in. Now, I've got an idea for this section. I'm thinking we get 2 slime platforms on either side with a conveyor coming against us and some little bollards to make it a bit sneaky.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we're gonna just make that quite thin, drag that out. As you can see, we're just grabbing objects from the object pool, copying them, making them to the perfect size, and just getting them in. So we're going to get our bollards. We're going to whack these in a nice little sort of triangular formation, just so if we get a bunch of players funneling in, it's a little difficult. And then we'll copy these. So with the paint tool, you don't have to hold it. You can just kind of drag things out as you want, copy that. I don't even have to redo all of that work. So we're now gonna select our final little bollard because we just want one in the middle. There we go, we've immediately got our two paths. We're now gonna get the conveyor. Yeah. So we're gonna set this in the settings. Similarly, we get a lot of options here. We're going to set this to go to reverse. We're going to have this at a normal speed because I think fast might be a bit too much. Bit too much. And then we're going to conjoin this with a standard platform, really short section, nice and sweet. Drag this out. And then because I'm feeling just a little bit fiendish, we're going to get some hammers in there as well. Now hammers, similarly, you might have seen sometimes they're like in this position in previous rounds. This time we're going to have them sideways. So you can use the same object in a different way to achieve the same goal. So I'm going to put that one there. We're going to put this one here, and we're going to rotate it around. Now, something you can do, if we go into play here, you'll see that they kind of go at the same time. And if that's what you want, that's great. But if you want something a little more chaotic, you can just put a little delay on them.
Perfect.
And then I'm thinking you get a checkpoint in there.
Yeah, a little checkpoint after that section would be perfect.
Do the same thing. Actually, we can just copy this one. Because you know what? It saves time.
And exact same size as we need as well, so perfect.
So now that we've got this this checkpoint, and I did the previous section, what are you thinking we should do for the next one?
Yeah, so I was thinking that we could add a little bit of verticality again to the level because we went down. Let's go back up a little.
Yeah. No,
what do you think?
I feel that. I can feel it. Yeah,
cool.
Let's do that. And this is what's great about creative. If you and your friends just want to get together, kind of bounce ideas off each other and just create something on the fly, you can do that.
Let's put a little drum on each of the path, adding a little Lily Lippers.
A little Lily Lippers inspiration?
Yeah, a little Lily Lippers inspiration to the level.
Now, the drums are a bit tall, so I think we might need to add in some ramps.
You need the ramps.
Yeah,
you need to put ramps.
As I said, like every object, these are customizable, so we kind of need the height here, so we're going to need to change the settings. We're going to need a larger slope. Maybe let's make it a bit shorter, and then change the color. Give it a little,
to make it different as well from the floor.
So let's get that in there. Extend this out by 1. There we go. A nice little ramp up to our drums.
Now, after the drums, you can put little blocks, you know, to have a little platform to land on.
So let's do that, and then we'll cut this in.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly what I had in mind.
There we go.
Awesome.
I'm glad I'm reading your mind here. So what are you feeling after this?
So I want to make them different, you know, like 2 different challenges. I was thinking for the left one, we could go with this fan, over there.
Okay, so let's get these fans in. You can see that when I try and place the object, it goes red. This is because the object itself is probably going to collide with the other object.
Let's change their settings.
Yeah, change the settings,
Anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
Normal as well. Give it a little bit of a delay, maybe. Yeah. Okay. And this one clockwise.
But fast. Yeah, with a little more. I know where you're going with this. And then what do you think for the other side?
Maybe we'll go with the rotating beam. Yeah, the rotating beam.
I'm already there. Same thing as the other side. So immediately we can go in, play this, check this out. It's always worthwhile if you're going to build a split path round. You want to make sure that both sides are achievable. As you look at this, I'm awful at these, but oh no.
Well, you're doing great for someone who's awful at them.
And let's check the other side. Oh, whirligig vibes here. I'm feeling it. It's fine. We're all good.
Brilliant.
Now we need to bring these in line, and I have the perfect idea. We just get some seesaws. Yeah. And I love the little seesaws. They have this lovely white line, so you roughly know when you're looking at it from above.
Perfect.
Where to line them up. Yeah. And we get that last one in there. Change the colors, just, you know, give it a little bit of flavor. Lovely.
Loving this, yeah.
And then another checkpoint.
Yeah, let's go.
Wonderful. And now I think we should do the last dash to the end of the level.
Wrap up the level.
Yeah.
Have a little idea of where I want to go there. Let's have some...
You're going to have a slime floor, aren't you?
Slime floor and sliding down to the end, yes.
So we have a little long ramp. I think we
can make it a little longer.
Yeah, a little longer?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to rotate this, give it a little slant. And then we're going to get a second one.
Make it steeper.
Make it steeper. Oh, and we'll get that in there. close as we can.
Oh, nice.
Lovely. We can give that a little test.
Yeah. I love that we can't see
Can't
the
see
second one.
Well, this just exudes chaotic vibes. So let's keep this going.
I think you could add a little challenge to it.
Yeah?
And put some pendulums over there.
Oh. And then I'm thinking at the end of this, let's have one right at the end.
Cheeky.
Very cheeky, just to kind of get that right before we place a finish line.
Create a lot of momentum as well.
And then I think we can place our finish line.
Yeah, let's go.
And now I think that is our round. And look at that. It looks like a very simple, straightforward round. We did this in a really short period of time, but you already have something that you can just play and test out. So now that we're done, we now need to go through and publish this. So what you want to do when you're ready and you're done with your round, you're going to press the start button or the button appropriate to your controller. Firstly, I recommend saving. That will just automatically save the round and also generic settings so that you can adjust that later. It just makes sure you don't lose any progress while you're building things. And we're gonna hit the publish flow.
Yeah, let's go.
So let's go.
Gives a little intro camera of the level as well.
Something that you obviously probably recognized from our previous rounds, we wanted to make sure that you got your own little intro camera. All right, so let's see if we can play this. Now,
Yeah.
so you can see, because we changed the open doors, it's we set it to 2, right? So
Yeah.
Oh, I'm awful at this. Oh, I'm awful. Come on, there we go. I'm going to take the risky
You're going to the path of most resistance here.
Something to take in mind when you're building these out is that depending on the amount of players you're building for, you'll want to make sure there's space for players to get through. So whilst it may seem fairly easy on your own, it's probably going to be a bit harder when more players are going through.
Yeah. You are doing great.
No fails yet.
Yet.
All right. Yet.
I don't want to jinx it.
You know, we should have changed the pendulum timers.
little delays.
But that's the thing, you can change the flavor to however you want it to, and you know, and I should have jumped. Okay, I'll make sure I jump this time.
Yeah, this time do not forget to jump.
Sometimes I'm
You
just bad at that.
got it.
Yeah, all right,
Nice.
we got there. So now that we've done the test complete, and we can now choose to publish. So we can either cancel this if we want to make some changes, or you didn't like the round that you made. Similar to the pendulums, where we realized they're all on the same timing, so we could change that if we wanted to.
I think we're good for this run through.
So let's just publish this, and that gives us our share code. Yeah. From there, you can hand that around to your friends, put it out into the online community, and get players in your rounds.
Yeah, I hope this little run through gave you a good idea of what creative can do. And yeah, it's all about build your round, play it, and share it with your friends and the community. We're super excited to see what you guys can come up with and what you're going to build. And yeah, we're looking forward to play what you're going to make.
We've been doing this for a long time, so we're super excited to see the things that you folks create. But yeah, and I think that's it from us, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Catch you later. See you in another video. Bye.